So you're thinking about making a move to one of the suburbs of Houston, Texas. Maybe you're thinking about moving out to Richmond, Texas, and you're thinking about moving to Indigo. This charming suburb might be the perfect fit for you and your family, but before you pack your bags, let's talk about location because you need to know what's nearby and how long it's going to take you to get from Indigo to all those destinations across the Houston area. And so in this video, we're going to break down and show you exactly where Indigo is, and we're going to show you just how close you are to various grocery stores, schools for your children, restaurants, all of those things you need to do. And we're going to show you how long it takes to get to Houston, some of the popular destinations across Houston if you're commuting for work. And we want you to stay tuned to the very end because at the very end of this video, I'm going to let you in on a big secret about Indigo. Let's get started. Before we dive into today's video, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Danny DePetta, and I'm with the Living in Houston, Texas Suburbs channel. And each and every day we get calls from viewers just like you who are thinking about making a move to Houston, Texas, or one of the suburbs. And if that's the case, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. All of our contact information is going to be in the description below. And if this is the first time tuning into the channel, make sure you take a moment to subscribe and tap the bell so you get all the latest updates about living in the suburbs of Houston, Texas. So let me start by telling you a little bit about Indigo. Indigo is a master plan community in Richmond, Texas. That's in Fort Bend County, and it's developed by Meristem Communities. And here's what you're going to love about the community. There's 235 acres where the homes are going to be built. There's 42 of those acres are going to be dedicated to a farmland. 25 acres is going to be lakes, trails, green and open spaces. There are several options here too. There are different ranges from townhomes to smaller duets to single family homes. There are a lot of options for different budgets in this community. And one of the key design points of this community is that they aim for it to be walkable. There's going to be connected to a central town center called Indigo Commons, and there's going to be shops and restaurants, and all of those are going to be minutes from your front door and walkable from within the community. All right, I wanted to start this section of the video by showing you where some of the local grocery stores are at. And that's important because you're going to need to know where to get groceries and daily essentials for your family. So let's talk about a few of the top favorites that are close to the community. And the first is going to be the Richmond Market HEB. That's going to be about 10 minutes from Indigo, and HEB is really popular here in Houston and all over Texas. And so you're going to be happy to know that that's only about a 10-minute drive from you. But maybe HEB doesn't work for you and you're looking for maybe a Randall's. There's also a Randall's at FM 359. That's going to be about 5 to 8 minutes away from the community, so still very conveniently located. And then if neither of those work for you and you're looking for something like an Aldi, there's one of those located on the West Grand Parkway. That's going to be about 10 minutes away from Indigo. So within about a 10-minute range, there are 3 really popular grocery stores located there. So there is definitely something for everyone really close to the community. Okay, let's talk about restaurants and coffee shops. Now, I mentioned earlier about Indigo Commons, and once that gets built out, there's going to be a place called the Filling Station right in the middle of the community. And that's going to be like a small cafe, coffee shop. They're going to have some breakfast items. There's going to be coffee there. And that's going to be super convenient because it's located right in the heart of the community. And that has not been built yet, but when it does, that's going to be a game changer for this community. A great place to grab a coffee, some grab and go meals, and even a local hangout. It's going to be pretty cool for that. But in the meantime, until that gets built out, there are a few restaurants and local places that I wanted to mention to you. And one of them is Ramble Creek Grill. That's going to be in Richmond, located off the Grand Parkway. That's going to be about 10 to 15 minute drive depending upon traffic. There's also Lamonti's Italian Restaurant and Bar. Again, that one's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes from Indigo, and that is in Richmond as well. And then if you're looking for like a coffee shop, there's the Blockhouse Coffee and Kitchen, and that's going to be in downtown Richmond. That's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes from Indigo as well. So as you can see, Once the community is built out, there's going to be some cool options for you within the community, but there are still a few options located pretty convenient next to it if you want to go and get something to eat. All right, let's talk about shopping and some entertainment options. Now, like I've mentioned earlier before, there's going to be a place called the Indigo Commons, and once that gets built, there's going to be it's going to be a town center. There's going to be shops there. There's going to be retail centers. There's going to be small businesses. There's going to be storefronts. There's even going to be dining, and all of that's going to be located right within the community. So that is definitely going to become, I don't know exactly when that'll be built out, but when it does, it will be a game changer for the community because you're going to have a ton of options right at your doorstep. But for the time being, you're going to be happy to know that there are a couple of options very close to you. For larger shopping, you're probably going to head into Sugarland, some of the retail corridors, some of the shopping centers there. That's about a 10 to 15 minute drive from you as well. Or if you wanted to go into Richmond, downtown Richmond, that area, you can go and definitely have some shopping options there. That's probably going to be about 15 minutes from you. And one of the cool things about Indigo is its outdoor recreation. Almost 60% of the land in the community is going to be dedicated to green or open spaces. There's going to be trails, and there's even going to be a huge lake. So your entertainment is going to be within the community. That lake is going to have kayaks. You're going to be able to do walking trails. There's going to be community events. So there's going to be a lot going on within this community. Another important thing to factor in if you're thinking about making a move to Indigo is the schools and what type of education will be available for your children. And you can rest assured knowing that if you do decide to move to Indigo, that your children will go to the top-rated, highly acclaimed Fort Bend ISD. And some of the local schools there, your kids, if they're in elementary, they're going to be going to James C. Nail. If they're in middle school, they'll be going to James Bowie Middle School. And if they're going to high school, there will be William B. Travis High School. And all of those are within about a 5 to 10 minute drive from Indigo. So they're not very far at all. Now, I don't know about any future developments. I don't know if they're planning on putting on-site schools there eventually. I don't know that. But right now, the schools that they do have are just about a 5 to 10 minute drive from that community, which is pretty convenient. All right, so we've showed you what's around Indigo. Now I wanted to get into the section where we talk about the commute times from Indigo, which is in Richmond, Texas, to destinations across Houston, Texas. Now, most of the people that are moving to Richmond are moving so because it's a suburb of Houston, Texas, and a lot of folks are moving here to work in Houston because it has a great job market. So I wanted to tell you about the commute times from Indigo and Richmond to Houston, Texas. And I wanted to start with the Energy Corridor. That's one of the more one of the more popular places that people work. We have a huge energy sector here in Houston, one of the things we're known for. And if you are looking to make that commute from Indigo to the Energy Corridor, you're looking at about a 35-minute commute time. Maybe you are going to work in downtown Houston. We know that there are a lot of jobs in downtown Houston. A lot of industries have their home base there, and that is going to run you about 45 minutes from Indigo in Richmond to downtown Houston. Now, another place that we see a lot of folks move into Houston for is the Texas Medical Center. We have one of the largest medical centers in the nation, and there are people constantly moving there to work in the Texas Medical Center. And if that is the case for you, then you're looking at about a 45-minute drive from Indigo to the Texas Medical Center. Now, a couple of other destinations that people always want to talk about, right there in downtown also, they have the Dakin Park where the Houston Astros play. There's also Toyota Center where the Houston Rockets play. Or maybe you wanted to go down to NRG, and that's going to be about the same distance as the Medical Center. And that is where your Houston Texans play football. And that's going to be about a 40 to 45-minute drive from Richmond, Texas. Now, another thing that people want to know a lot about are the airports. And Houston has two major airports, which makes it pretty convenient. Now, the first one I wanted to mention to you is Hobby Airport. That's going to be about a 45 to 55-minute drive, and that's depending upon traffic. Now, maybe you're looking to travel outside of the United States. Hobby does a lot of interstate traveling. Bush is an intercontinental airport, and that one is probably about 60 minutes or so to get there. So you have two major airports within an hour drive of where you're at, which is super convenient. Thanks for staying tuned to the end of the video. At the beginning of the video, I told you I was going to let you in on one of the best kept secrets about Indigo, and here it is. It's something that really separates this neighborhood from the others in the area. And right in the center of this neighborhood is going to be a 42-acre urban farm, and it's going to be called Indigo Farms. There's going to be crops, there's going to be livestock, there's going to be pastures, there's even going to be a chef's table experience for residents. And that is a game changer. That is going to be a pretty cool thing in this area. And you don't see a lot of neighborhoods that have that sort of farmland within the neighborhood. And that's going to be a super game changer for that. And it's going to be a pretty unique amenity for those people that are making a decision to move to Indigo. So that's the scoop about living in Indigo neighborhood in Richmond, Texas. We've shown you all the commute times to the restaurants, to the grocery stores, to the schools. We've even given you commute times to downtown Houston and all of the other major destinations across Houston. And as you can see, Indigo has a lot to offer, and it's pretty conveniently located. And if this looks like a place that you might want to make your home, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Like I mentioned before, my contact information is located in the description below. We also want to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us some comments or feedback down below. And if you also have enjoyed it, please make sure you like it and share it with all of your friends. And if you have not done so yet, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and tap the bell so you get all the latest updates about living in the suburbs of Houston, Texas. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you on the next video.